Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of our wrestling show. I almost said this week unloaded. I'm batting 1,000 tonight. With us tonight so far on the panel, we have Mr. Jason Stewart. How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right, man. Good to see you guys.
And next we have Kingpin, who I am playing with a knife just to irritate. How are you tonight?
Well, normally the knife would irritate me a little bit, but I had a nice warm glass of blackout coffee just before the show started, and my nerves are completely calm and I'm at ease. It was just such a refreshing break.
And ladies and gentlemen, there is a reason why Kingpin brings up Blackout Coffee. We have been added to their affiliate program. So if you use the link down below to go to in the description to go to Blackout Coffee, and you use code RichW20, you will not only be helping the channel, but you'll get 20% off your first order. So be sure to go and check that out and order something. So yes, I guess you could say we got our first channel sponsorship. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I want to thank Mr. Gizzard Gary for referring us for membership on their affiliate program. And by the way, if you order from my link, you will also be helping out Mr. Gizzard Gary, who will also get a 5% commission on whatever it is you purchase. So you'll be helping two of your favorite channels out at one time. So remember, folks, Blackout Coffee. And you get a better discount for using my promo code than Jared from Guns and Gadgets. His only gets you 10% off. Mine gets you 20. I guess that's the one time where I can actually say I compete against him and it's better.
Well, I mean, I could name a dozen times that you've been better than Jared.
That was a joke. Yes. But yes.
I believe I am going to order what is called the Morning Reaper from Blackout Coffee Company.
That's an interesting name for a coffee.
Morning Reaper. They also have Brutal Awakening. But I'm going to go with the Morning Reaper. Sounds about right to me.
Man, Brutal Awakening sounds like somebody shows up in your bedroom and starts whipping you with a cat of nine tails or some shit. Jesus Christ. That would certainly be a Brutal Awakening.
Oh, I'm going to have to get some of the Guns and Gadgets 2A or the No Compromise or something, because they were nice enough to include a Beretta 92 in their photograph here for their coffee. So, what an awesome coffee company.
I thought you were going to say they have a Beretta 92 in the box. Like, wait, what?
They have an American flag, a Beretta, and the Partners Roast Coffee selection here.
Yeah.
So, by gosh, yeah, I just feel like an asshole if I don't buy something.
Yeah, and for those wondering, it comes in your standard ground, whole bean, or K cups, and they also sell hot chocolate and tea. So go over and check them, and they have gear, swag and stuff you can buy. So,
well, yeah. to build on what Jason was saying, if you don't buy and thoroughly enjoy hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of Blackout Coffee Company products, you want the terrorists to win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a good conservative company, supports Second Amendment values. If you don't buy it, the terrorists are going to win. You've got to go buy some Blackout Coffee, folks.
Oh, right here. The Brutal Awakening Roast is officially thumbs up by Donald Trump Jr.
Well, there you go. Yes. Hey, get this. We are now sponsored by a company that also sponsors Dan Bongino, from Fox News and the Dan Bongino show. And so, hey, we're moving up in the world.
If you think about it, if we're going to put some real good leftist logic involved in here, if you're sponsored by Blackout Coffee Company and Donald Trump Jr. gives a thumbs up to Blackout Coffee Company, that means Donald Trump gives the thumbs up to Blackout Coffee. So that means, therefore, the President of the United States is officially supporting this channel.
That's right.
And and even though we're not live on Rumble, Dan Bongino is promoting this on his Rumble network.
But this will eventually be on Rumble. We're not live on Rumble, but it eventually will be on Rumble. So even Rumble sponsors us. Wow, we're really laying it on thick here.
You haven't even seen
it. All right, I'm trying to fill out my shopping cart. I ordered me the Morning Reaper coffee, and I ordered the Give Me Coffee or Give Me Death coffee mug.
Awesome.
I think the only better use of your money would have been sending it to Ukraine. The only thing better you could have done and more magnanimous with your money would have been send it to Ukraine. So that's very well done of you, Jason.
They get some cool looking patches too. Patches and decals. No, they don't get any patches. They're all decals. It says patches, but then you go there and they're all decals. But they're kind of cool looking. You have to give me one of those keychains of yours. Maybe. It's cool looking. Coffee and tea accessories. Oh, they have the little things you need for brewing their loose leaf tea too. So if you like tea, they got the loose leaf and they got the little dunking ball that you use for brewing the loose leaf tea.
There you go, Rick. Listen up. Be just like you're back at home in Britain.
Uh-huh. Well, there you go. As Rick likes to say. But yeah, if you're not a coffee drinker, they got all kinds of different hot chocolates and teas you can drink too. So. Terry Dump Cake Hot Chocolate. Some of these sound pretty damn good too. Chocolate Peppermint Patty Hot Cocoa. Man, this stuff's going to make me want to buy some, and I ain't got no money right now to buy any. I'm going to quit looking at that page right now. All right. I guess we've done enough of a commercial. We've done a commercial for 10 minutes now. So that's almost as bad as WWE pay-per-views.
Oh, that was you're live? I thought we were just having a very spontaneous, open, and honest conversation. I had no idea that this was live on the internet.
The little box up there in the left-hand corner that says live could be an indicator.
I was busy looking at the chat, trying to keep up with the chat, and I didn't even notice that you recorded our completely spontaneous conversation about how much we love Blackout Coffee Company and the various products and services that they provide.
All right, my order is complete. I used my discount code RichW20. Everything went through. And next week I'll be taking delivery of my give me coffee or give me Death Grim Reaper coffee mug in my Morning Reaper coffee.
Well, you got if you're gonna have the Morning Reaper, it's got to be in a Grim Reaper themed coffee cup
Oh,
too, right?
absolutely. That's when I saw it. I didn't even hesitate. I said add to cart.
The best part, Jason, is when you get your delivery, which will be expertly packaged with all the care and concern that a wonderful company like Blackout Coffee and Company puts into each and every package that it sends out of its wonderfully clean, high tech factories. You could do a video about that and then get your own discount code. You won't need Rich anymore.
Oh, gee, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a video now. First brew, try it out. Uh, maybe I can get something where they just like automatically send my coffee like once a month or whatever, and then I never have to worry about running out of coffee.
Yes, and thanks to your order, I made $3.71. Woohoo!
Are you serious?
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
yeah. I get 15% commission, and Gary gets a 5% commission.
Shoot, that's good, dude. That's really good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! I tell you what. Well, I spent 30 some bucks, but
Well, thank you.
I got
I
a
was
big pound of coffee and a coffee mug. I mean, geez, that's a good deal.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for volunteering because I was going to ask you, but I didn't really want to put it on the internet. I don't know how much you spent, but that's $3 on a $30 purchase is pretty solid.
Yeah. Well, it probably doesn't include the tax. You know, my commission probably doesn't include tax because commissions are supposed to be 15%. So, in fact, it tells me how much Jason spent before taxes. I don't know if he wants me to say.
It was $31.
Yeah, after tax.
Well, you put it. It was
Okay.
30 something, and then the 20% code knocked everything down to
Okay.
31.
Apparently, I don't get a commission on the cup, I guess, because I only got it says that you spent $24.72. So apparently, the cups that you only get commission on coffee, I'm guessing, or the beverage, because it says 24.72. You said you spent 31. There's not going to be that much tax, right? So $3.71 commission on 24.72 is even better if you stop and think about it. But yeah, I'm not going to complain either way. Now, getting more people to buy.
I've been wanting to try it. I mean, I know there's so many different coffee companies out there and so many YouTube channels pushing it, and I've wanted to try some in the past. So now I have, man. That's a good deal that you got in on it. I'm glad to help out. Uh, I'm even more glad to sit and drink my coffee in the morning. So I can't lose on this deal at all.
Yeah, I mean, the coffee gets good reviews and stuff when you look on the different things. So, oh, here comes trouble.
And
Hey, barbecue.
and
What's going on? How's it going?
yeah, and technically, I'll just add this couldn't come at a better time for me because I only have about a week's worth of coffee left before I'll have to go to the store and get some.
Well, now you don't have to
So,
go to the store, so
yep,
it's a win-win.
nice. Can't complain at all.
I
Yeah,
gotta admit, I love Jason's reaction to me entering. Richard's like, "Hey, barbecue," and Jason's like, "Yeah, let's keep talking about this coffee thing." Like, piss off.
yeah,
Well,
right.
that's
Love it, love
I
it.
was just gonna give you the update, barbecue, to let you know that even though we are live right now, this is just an open hearted. We're just sharing our feelings and our experience and our wonderful pleasure of being able to access a company like Blackout Coffee Company, and how much it's changed our lives. And So feel free to just jump right in and share your heart and life experience, and probably you probably got family members throughout history that just endless amounts of stories and just wonderfulness about Blackout Coffee Company. So that's what we're talking about, because and it's completely truthful and spontaneous. This isn't like an ad at all.
I find coffee to be completely disgusting, and to support this, speaking of family members, I guess if you call my ex, the mother of my children, a family member, because mother of my children, she loves coffee, and I believe she's the devil. So, if you drink coffee, you support the devil, and also Colombian drug cartels. Great job.
See,
Like I said, here comes trouble.
but people don't really understand that Barbecue's one of those insult comics. Like he's a shock jock. So that was all a part of his comedy skit.
Minus the part about my ex. For the rest of it, yes, absolutely. And you should go over to Blackout Coffee and buy some today and use whatever is getting Rich White 15%, even though he couldn't do math and figure out that $3 and change is not 15% of $31.
I was well aware of that. That's why I went over and checked.
And then you're like, oh, yeah, that's even better when you look at it off of 24. I'm like, well, yeah, because that'd be 15%, and I'm nuts.
Yeah, no kidding. But that's the mug you ordered, Jason?
That's the mug. Look at that beautiful red thing right there, boy.
Ooh.
It'll match the rest of my home decor perfectly.
Hold on. A patron of the dark out there?
No, he always misses this show. He always wants to talk about midget tossing and stuff, and then he's always on the wrong show wanting to talk about that.
Let's say, wasn't sure. I thought I heard you guys mention him a couple minutes ago before I jumped in. I was going to say, if you're showing the mug, like, Jason needs to do a better job of describing that mug. Just red. Like, what's so great about a red mug? Come on, put some pizzazz in that man's life. Actually, it would help me out, too.
Oh, it's a red mug. It has the Grim Reaper on it.
Oh,
it says,
shit.
Give me coffee or give me death. And on
it's
the
a metal
reverse
mug.
side, on the reverse side, it has a distressed American flag with the words Blackout Coffee Company.
And
I kind of like that. That does sound pretty badass.
Yeah, it's a metal mug. It's not a ceramic one.
Oh,
Just imagine the greatest coffee mug in human history. And then, once again, thank Blackout Coffee Company for bringing it to us.
so when did you guys start shelling for Guns and Gear? Or Guns and Gadgets, excuse me. Not Guns and Gear, Guns and Gadgets.
No, we're not, because I've actually specified how my discount code is better than his. His only gets you 10% off. Mine gets you 20.
Oh, stuff. That is almost enough to. Is that for a limited time or?
No, it's,
What?
It's a first order, 20% off your first order.
Nice. So how? I got to ask, how did you link up with them?
Gizzard Gary.
I see how it is, Gizzard. Don't tell any blind folks about this. Just because we're so descriptive and we would totally crush the sales because we'd be like, well, this roast actually tastes like sex. And if you know what sex tastes like, please let us describe that to you real quick. And we go into a 5-minute description of what sex tastes like, and we bring you back to the coffee, and you're like, yeah, that's how fucking good this coffee is. Buy it now. Use this discount code.
Oh, by the way, even if you were being serious about not liking coffee, they also sell hot chocolates and teas.
So this is the time where you guys are gonna get on me as if I am Rick. I don't like hot beverages in general. Hot tea I can tolerate, but hot chocolate, that's just disgusting, period. Coffee, disgusting. And like, if you're like, oh, well, try it cold. I don't like iced coffee or any of that BS either. I also don't like chocolate
milk. What do you do in the winter? Just hibernate? Don't come out? What do? You don't drink nothing hot?
No. I will get a big old glass of ice water.
But tea is good for you. It's full of antioxidants, man.
Well, if you drink that green crap. Let's
Oh,
say,
any of it.
I,
Even black tea has the antioxidants in it.
let's say, no joke. If you looked at my fridge right now, I have 2.5 gallons of black tea. Let's say, I drink tea like Camel drinks water. Actually, I feel like a camel would drink tea if you gave it to him.
Oh, you're talking about water. They have tumblers too. The insulated tumblers. You could always buy yourself
And
an insulated tumbler.
just to make everybody's heads completely explode, I don't drink sweet tea. That's disgusting.
They got a yellow tumbler that's got a cutout. It's a steel tumbler. I guess it's steel, and it's got a yellow sleeve that goes around it, or paint, one of the two. That's cut through where you with the snake from the Gadsden flag with the "Don't Tread on Me."
Ooh, snap! And that, folks, while you get that, will also get you on to an FBI list. Kill two birds with one stone. Actually, if you're not on an FBI list, it's like they say, you should be ashamed of yourself by now.
As unpatriotic as it is, I have to shy away from the Gadsden flag, the traditional one, for the most part, just simply because of the yellow color. So
what?
I just don't. I don't buy, display, or do anything with that one. But I do like the non-traditional ones of any style. I just can't do the regular yellow one.
Do you like the one that Alan Anchor made up as a patch? That I'm honestly not 100% sure if they did it for like autism awareness or if they just decided to just throw a bunch of colors together. Like, because it's not technically a puzzle piece, but with the way it looks, like you could be like, oh, that could be for autism awareness. I don't think that's what they did, but that or maybe this I don't know, Jason. After that stuff from a week or two ago, who knows? You know, with all the colors thrown on there, it's supposed to be almost be like a gay pride. Don't tread on me. I doubt that also, but
well, yellow is just an inferior color.
Yeah, but
yes,
there's the Gadsden flag one.
I actually have a tumbler similar to that, but it's not nearly as good of a yellow. I do like that, but you don't get any commission on cups.
Yeah, I know. Apparently not, which sucks.
But they probably don't make the cups. They probably just buy the cups.
Right.
Now, folks, if you're out there, I've got to point out, did you just hear Rich get choked up when
No,
I had to point that out?
I was eating ice cream.
I'm making you a sale. Quiet.
Oh, okay.
Now, for the small price of like $24, you can get some coffee along with a tumbler or a mug, such as that. Don't break Rich White's heart. Sorry, my dog decided to interrupt this great moment. But don't break Rich White's heart. Be sure to get something that he gets commission on.
Yeah, if
when you get your tumbler,
the flag, he wants that one.
Yeah, that'd be fine. See what it is, man. Not only like on a personal, individual level, yellow is probably like my least favorite color. When I was a kid, I just hated yellow. Yellow gave me a headache. But I'm a Buckeye man. Born and raised. You're like shunned from society for such things. Your home is to be decorated in mostly red. The use of blue, the use of yellow, that's pretty much frowned upon around here, man. And I don't think you'll find very many things that are yellow in this household. Maybe some type of product and its packaging's yellow, or that's it. But we don't do yellow stuff. We don't buy yellow clothes. We don't buy yellow knickknacks. We don't have yellow cars. We don't do yellow, man. We just don't. Don't like it. Don't like its presence. We just don't do that here, man. Like blue. Blue is a cool color, man. And blue has its place in a lot of things, you know. Some blue cars are nice and stuff, but other than that, generally we don't do too much blue here either.
The combination of black and yellow will get you cussed out in Maryland for sure.
Yeah, well, there's reason for that.
Just gonna say, there's no song called Black and Purple.
Yeah, every time the Capitals had a good team, the Penguins beat them. The Orioles were another World Series that was fixed by Rothstein was the Orioles Pirates World Series because y'all cheated. And then, of course, the Steelers are just an active criminal organization that wears football helmets.
Hey, at least none of the Steelers have actually killed the guy.
Oh, I mean,
Hey,
not to say that a Ravens
acquitted.
player,
I don't know.
Ray Lewis was innocent in that whole thing. Ray Lewis's biggest problem is he was too stupid to not keep his mouth shut. But there may be other people on the Ravens roster that have murdered somebody. I will say that's very possible.
Yeah, I mean, like most of the Steelers players, they either, I mean, other than I think Jeff Reed, they usually do their crime sprees after they leave the organization. Like,
Or it's
let's
the
go
reason why
Burrow
they.
shooting off his dick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if one of the Steelers shoots somebody, at least it's themselves and not somebody else.
See?
Yeah, man, don't get upset. Nobody was hurt. Just me.
I'm gonna say, Plexico Burrows is like, hey guys, you ever see 8 Mile? My favorite character is Cheddar Bob. Watch this.
You know, I always called him plexiglass.
Could have just told us. Didn't have to show us.
Yeah, that's okay, Jason. We used to call him plexiglass in Pittsburgh too. So there's that.
All right, it's time. Let me check on my barking dog. See what's up. It's probably some innocent child bouncing his basketball down the street or something. But
And your dog's like, hey, let me have that. Come on, come over here.
He's probably saying, stop making all that noise. Stop it with the damn ball.
Mm-hmm.
Poor dog's just like, too many mother friggin' kids bouncing balls down this street. I'm not sure why Jason's dog is going to take after Samuel L. Jackson, but it seems like it's fitting.
Well, if you're gonna mimic any Hollywood actor, I guess that's as good as any.
The dog's probably thinking, if that kid had a cup of Blackout Coffee Company, he wouldn't be so in need to release energy and aggression by bouncing a ball down the street. He'd be a lot more relaxed, and he could just enjoy this nice summer evening.
Well, that's the real problem here is that kid was given coffee that was not from Blackout Coffee Company, and now he's all jittery and high on caffeine. With Blackout Coffee Company, you get a nice, even, steady release of your caffeine throughout the day to keep you going, even in the long hours of the evening.
Yeah, you know what? Now I got to know. Does Jason's dog have an eye patch and a black leather trench coat?
No, but he's a miniature Doberman, right? And he's been getting freaked out about the fireworks. And of course, he just growls at every little kid walking up down the street. Today, I was messing with him, and it's like, what? That's just the sound of. You're a Nazi dog, aren't you? You're a Nazi dog. That's why you don't like fireworks. You don't like freedom.
At some point where you're going to have to get onto the actual the topic of this show supposed to be. We're almost a half hour in and we haven't mentioned anything yet.
No way. Like this show ever has a topic in the first place. Come on, Rich. Who are you trying to fool?
Rich, go ahead.
The show has a specific title. We got to talk about that at some point.
Go ahead and replay. Go ahead and replay the intro, Rich.
But you gotta remember, Rich, we're all just sitting around like we normally would, having an open, honest totally spontaneous conversation, and that
Yeah, I thought this was.
conversation usually ends up about such a wonderful company and the refreshingness of Blackout Coffee Company.
We're going to take Jason's advice. Take two.
I like this song. Heard it.
All right, welcome to the wrestling
Ladies
show.
and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this episode is being brought to you by Blackout Coffee Company.
Get to the show.
All right, so Kingpin last night on SmackDown, Grayson Waller versus Edge. Thoughts?
Very interesting because I'm glad that they brought up the fact that he hadn't had a match and all that other kind of stuff. And I do think it's quite interesting that they gave him what I thought was a good match and allowed him to show a lot of his talents.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily a lot of the high flying stuff, but what I call the small moves. He did really well, and obviously you're not going to beat Edge in your first match, so it's a good match to lose for Grayson Waller. I highly approve of the whole spiel. I do think Grayson needs to get away from the Grayson Waller TV show thing and do more LA Knight style. Grab the mic, talk a bunch of trash, and then fight.
Well, apparently, they were talking about it this on Cultaholic earlier today. He had been injured before he left NXT, and that's why he's been doing the talk show thing and why he hadn't had a match yet. He had just gotten cleared
Well, he
before
did.
Money in the Bank.
His two matches with Braun Breaker were slobber knockers. And then he had that match with Mello, which was pretty intense as well. So it's definitely believable that he was hurt.
He had just gotten cleared before Money in the Bank, which is why they did the bit with him and Cena doing moves against each other when he came out and interrupted Cena's promo that he was doing about WrestleMania in London, possibly, maybe, but not really.
No, I think Edge was the perfect opponent. They did well together. Edge was able to shine and get the crowd behind him. But I think that Grayson got a lot of respect that way.
Yeah, I could easily have seen that match being on a pay-per-view. They did a really good job, the two of them, in that match. Edge selling Waller's offense really well. In the end, Edge caught him out of nowhere with the spear when he was going for his finisher. So it was really well done the way they did that. Like you were saying, Grayson Waller loses nothing by losing to Edge. Edge is a multi-time world champion, Hall of Famer, and all that. So he's not going to lose any status by losing his first match to Edge.
Well, and Edge picking him up out of the air with the spear, like you were saying, that when Grayson was trying to do his finishing move, gives you the Edge is a Hall of Famer, 11-time champion. That level of experience stepped up at the very end and won the match where, a rookie like Grayson just couldn't overcome the experience kind of thing.
Right. Now, did you get to watch Rampage from last night?
I fast forwarded through most of that.
I'm kind of liking that tag team of Brian Cage and Big Bill.
Yeah, they both need to get better at the small stuff, the headlocks, the tie ups and all that kind of stuff, because they can only be giant trees smashing on people so much.
But the two of them coming out and just beating up people as a tag team, I can see that happening. It'll be interesting to see what happens next week because they got MJF and Adam Cole in the next round of that tournament.
Yeah, I think that'll be what we talk about all the time, where MJF and Adam Cole just out wrestle these guys. Like their thuggery can't outdo the talent that those two bring. You know what I mean? Brian Cage will crush their heads for half the match, and then they'll work together, and real wrestling skill will win the day.
Yeah, that's all they're going to have to. They're going to have to do it where they out finesse and outthink them, because they're definitely not going to outpower either one of those guys. See how high up in the air Big Bill got Trent Beretta before he chokeslammed him onto the apron?
Yeah, that big Middle Eastern dude that chokeslammed the guy and Jeff Jarrett's match.
Yeah,
was pretty close to just slamming that dude down on his arms. He just picked him up and smashed him onto the ground.
Like, boom! Like he spiked the football after scoring a touchdown.
One thing I wanted to bring up for Jason is, I don't know, he probably didn't see it, but Orange Cassidy was in a match against Keith Lee, and Orange Cassidy started doing that tap, 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 like chest chops, and then Keith Lee just totally smoked him. Then when Orange Cassidy got over that chest slap, he got up and he did Keith Lee's double hand slap, but real gentle like. I could have swore Keith Lee separated his neck from his shoulders.
Oh, great.
Keith Lee reached back and double hand slapped Orange Cassidy in the chest.
You're forgetting something in between there. Before he did it, he looked over at the crowd, like gave the look like, really? Like you see in the cartoons when somebody does something, the cartoon character looks at the camera. It's like, really? He's like, then Keith looks at him and like, you want to do this? And Orange like nods his head, and he's like, wham! Just knocked him into the next month, let alone week.
It was like a cartoon where you smash down on the shoulders and the cartoon character's neck gets real long.
Yeah.
Well, this is truly fantastic news, man. Truly. I will have to research and catch the replay of that.
Well,
right
it's not all good news for you, Jason.
Well, if it goes downhill from there, I won't watch the rest. But
all right, what about Sheamus and Austin Theory? Are they gonna push that further, or?
It looks like we're looking at a feud between Theory and Pretty Deadly versus the Brawling Brutes.
Yeah, but that doesn't get Sheamus a championship match again.
Well, they're gonna be the two leaders of the thing if you look at, because they got Pretty Deadly basically playing Theory's pawns. So they might do like a 6-man on SmackDown or something, and then that SummerSlam have Sheamus challenge him for the title there again. Maybe like in a steel cage match or something to keep Pretty Deadly out of it.
Well, keep going through topics, because obviously we got the bloodline thing that we'll have to talk about.
Yeah, I thought the bloodline thing was pretty good this week. The beatdown they put on Jimmy while Jay was tied up in the ropes.
Yeah.
And then Jay coming out and just walloping him at the end.
I like the crowd's reaction, because Roman Reigns comes out and they're booing him and we hate you and all this other kind of stuff. And then as soon as he does the acknowledge me thing, the whole crowd's like, yeah, we love you, Roman.
I love the way Roman played with the crowd though. And during that, when they do the little thing where they show the video and the crowd starts yelling, you fucked up, fucked up. And Roman just gets a look on his face like, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. They made me do this. This was what I wanted to do. It was that was good. He played to the crowd really well there.
Yeah, it's weird. The same thing. Like I think the crowd wants all of the bloodline to be good guys. Not necessarily, you know, baby faces, but they can still be mean and nasty kind of dudes, but they want to cheer for them. Like they boo them because it's a part of the thing, we got to boo the bad guy. But even like when when Solo was getting ready to be like the tribal chief, the whole crowd was going, "Yeah,
Put
Solo,
it on,
Solo,
put it on.
Solo."
Yeah, and
So it's
he's
like they all hate him for the show, but they really actually just want to cheer for
yeah. When he's standing there holding the lei, looking at her, put it on, put it on. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but all those belts had Velcro on them. The snaps are just decoration now.
I don't know if you noticed, but Roman Reigns still carries 3 titles around.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. All three of those belts, if you looked when Heyman had them, and then when Roman takes his off, you could clearly hear the from Velcro being
Easy on,
used.
easy off, man.
Yeah. Kind of takes away something though. It's like, really, Velcro?
Someday, Rich, your shoes will have Velcro on them. So
They
watch
did
it.
that back in the '80s and decided that wasn't good enough.
Yeah, you'll be doing. That's what you'll be wearing when you're in your 80s too.
Remember back in the '80s, the Velcro shoes? Everybody thought that was going to be a big thing until the Velcro started falling apart.
Uh-huh.
You had your shoes for like a week, and the Velcro went to shit. It's one of the reasons why I have the patches on my brace.
Velcro is a miracle invention.
Well, there's good Velcro, and then there's bad Velcro.
Kind of like coffee. There's good coffee, then there's Blackout Coffee Company, which is better than good coffee. And if you really think about it, if it's not Blackout Coffee Company, then it's not even good coffee.
And how can you not credit Velcro for the invention of midget tossing?
Hey man, Patriot's not even out there. We can't be bringing up midget tossing without him there. So tonight, who do you think wins Kingpin? FTR or Bullet Club Gold?
Since it's not for the actual title, I think Bullet Club wins tonight. Then when it comes down to like the actual titles on the line, I don't think that they're gonna give Bullet Club the titles just yet. They may or not, but I'm also like anti-biased, I guess you would say, however you want to look at it, because I don't like Juice Robinson.
Yeah, I didn't like Juice Robinson either until he joined Bullet Club. Yeah.
All right, what are the other 2 big matches tonight?
Punk and Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
I hope history holds and Punk gets his ass kicked.
that's the problem is Tony Khan seems to be pretty far up CM Punk's butthole.
Mm-hmm.
So he might give CM Punk the first win of his career against Samoa Joe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen too, and I don't like it.
What was the other match? Ah, Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah, been there, done that, and Hobbs whooped Stark's ass the last time.
Well, yeah, I mean, it only makes sense. I mean, I think Ricky Starks is a good wrestler, and the whole Ricky Starks like pose thing he does is totally cheesy, but I think it's so cheesy that I like it. Uh, but I have a hard time grasping Powerhouse Hobbs not ripping his arms off as soon as the bell rings.
Yeah, you know when the Ricky Starks pose was really good? When Michael Jackson did it the first time.
Yeah, but
That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Michael Jackson.
for me, when Ricky Starks does that, and then he looks at the camera with that stupid, like fake actor's smile that he puts on,
Hmm.
it looks like it's so cheap, like he's trying to be cheesy, which is why I like it.
Yeah. All I would say is it just reminds me of Michael Jackson. Like, I forget which video it was where he took a pose like that at the end of the video where he was holding the hat on and he had his head face down like that and whatnot. It was the one where he was wearing the black and white suit. You know, the white suit with the black shirt. What the hell video was that?
Yeah, I'm probably off of Beat It.
No, it wasn't Beat It.
It would have been on that album, Beat It, because he had the silver glove on too, and he only really rocked that for that first album.
Oh, that's Thriller.
Thriller.
Yeah, that was Thriller.
Okay, Thriller was the name of the album. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the one where the video for Thriller, they actually it was like a half-hour movie. If you watch the full-length version, that was pretty good too. Little half-hour like horror movie thing.
Baron Corbin had a pretty decent promo for NXT. It seems kind of weird that I guess that's what they're gonna have to do is rebuild him and then move him around or whatever. But it seems like they might be working him back into not losing every match and being the cornball.
Yeah. Well, the entrance for him, his entrance when he took on Carmelo, that was his original NXT entrance theme and everything. The Lone Wolf bit, that was when before he went to the main roster, that was his thing. So it looks like they're starting him over with that possibly.
It kind of seems like what's his face, Mustafa Ali, that they might push him to either have a title match and lose to Wes, or maybe he's the one that takes the title from Wes.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, that's right. I thought it was going with the whole him being the guest referee and everything. I was waiting for him to swerve him at the end after raising his hand or something, and they didn't do that.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar are back at it again.
Yeah. Oh man. Cody comes out, gets where Seth's out there, says, "So Brock Lesnar's music hit," and I said, "Thank God." Literally, I'm sitting there watching on my computer. I'm like, "Thank God."
I popped so friggin' hard when Cody hit the Cody cutter on him because I thought it was just going to be another instance where Brock goes out, breaks his arm again, or some shit like that, and then when Cody hits the Cody cutter and Brock rolls out and powders, I was like, "Oh shit!" Did not see that. I just went, "Oh yeah!" Legit pop on that one.
Yeah, I just didn't want to see Seth and Cody again. We just saw that a year ago.
Yeah.
Finish up with Brock first. Good God. And thank God that is the way they went.
But is it going to finish up with Brock, do you think? Or do they ride this like almost until Mania, like say the Rumble, before they finish it?
Well, they got SummerSlam coming up, at least until that point.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about. They could finish it at SummerSlam, But I mean, there's also Survivor Series before Rumble. But I'm just, you can put Cody in different little feuds and just have Brock randomly pop back in and kick the shit out of him, and keep this going long term. Like, I mean, that's kind of what they did with the whole Dominic thing. Was have them have a mini feud there. They can keep Lesnar on ice and keep paying him millions of dollars to not show up and do anything until he actually shows up. In this way, they've got something for Brock that's not dealing with Roman or the bloodline, that doesn't interfere with that, and then it's still got a solid storyline for Brock as well.
Yeah.
Another one that it never ceases to amaze me with some wrestlers, like the Roman Reigns thing, the way that the crowd reacts to Roman Reigns. I've noticed it for a long time now, but it just gets me every time that they cheer for him, and then the second the cheer dies down, they get right back to booing for him for the show. Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is so over when it comes to AEW wrestling. And I'd imagine like all wrestling likes Chris Jericho, but the AEW crowds love Chris Jericho so much. The other day when he was on TV, I was expecting, they were singing a song and cheering for him. And normally when all that happens, then he'll be like, "Shut up, I hate all of you," to get back into character. Well, he didn't do that. He was like, "Hey, I'm going to change my style around. All you people are cool." So the crowd was going nuts. And then Don Callis came out and was like, "Hey, join my faction." And I expected the building to explode when Chris Jericho was like, "No," and then punched Don Callis in the face.
Yeah. Keep in mind, too, where they were. Yeah, keep in mind where they were on Wednesday. They're in Alberta. Jericho started his wrestling career in Calgary, which is in Alberta.
They're doing the Canadian tour, yeah.
Right, yeah.
I thought they were on fire.
Wrong part of Canada. Canada's a big place.
But I'd like to, how you could get those books when you were a kid that had alternate endings, or like the Scooby-Doo would say, "Hey, this is how it would end if we did this." I'd like to be able to see the scenario on what the crowd did when Chris Jericho dropped the microphone and just laid out Don Callis. The crowd would have probably rushed the ring.
Oh, the crowd would have went absolutely apeshit. The best part is Callis is a Canadian as well, and he also got his start in the Calgary area. But people just hate Don Callis for reasons.
Speaking of going back to the hatred from the crowd and the boos, the Dominic Mysterio thing is getting a little out of hand. And I think it's funny that, and I think the WWE and Dominic are doing well with trying to still talk and then reacting to the crowd. But if you notice, at the beginning of it, Dominic would try to say something, the crowd would go nuts, and then Rhea would be like, "Shut up," and the crowd wouldn't make a noise. Like everybody would listen to what Rhea was saying. Same thing with or Damien or Finn. But now, like the past 2 times that they've been out, at least, Dominic would talk and they'd boo, and then Rhea would talk and they'd start booing Rhea. And I was like, "Uh-oh. I don't think that they planned to have Rhea getting booed."
Yeah. Oh, but it was beautiful on Monday. Dominic gets booed trying to say something, and Rhea goes like, "Dominic will take you on in the main event." And Dominic's like, "Wait, what?" The look on his face. That was good.
You know what? I'm not a big fan of Natalia. I'm actually like anti-Natalia for the most part. But And I have enjoyed watching Rhea Ripley tear her apart in the first two matches that they've had. They put on a pretty decent match. Natalia took the pink off, so she's kind of going with like meaner version of Natalia now. And it was good that they let her get in a decent match against Rhea for a chance.
Yeah, Natalia can go when she's given an opportunity. The problem is they've been not giving her the opportunity to do what she's actually capable of doing, which they do with a lot of people, which is one of the things that for a long time turned off a lot of people on WWE, because you get somebody good and they'd get over and whatnot, and WWE didn't want to get over them getting over, so then they would punish them by making them do all this stupid shit. And when they let people take off the bindings that Vince McMahon would put around them, you see just how good these people actually are. And Natalia's one of them. I don't think that might be the first time you've actually seen Natalya have a good match, because they weren't letting her go out there and do what she can do.
Okay. Now, I don't understand. I think the crowd was ready to go either direction. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey.
It seemed to me like the crowd was behind Shayna.
Well, I think that when Ronda came out, before Shayna came out, it seemed like the crowd wasn't instantly, oh, screw Ronda. So Ronda would have come out and been like, I can't believe my friend stabbed me in the back. And then Shayna was like, you're a bitch. And, I'm a bad guy now. I think that people would have been like, okay, we're going to go with that. I do agree with you that it seemed like they were more apt to be happier that they get to boo Ronda more. And Shayna kind of turned into the good guy. But man, that's painful watching Shayna Baszler on the microphone. Man, she really sucks. And she can't wrestle either. That's why I was wondering. I can't remember if her and Ronda ever actually fought in the UFC. And I didn't look it up. But when Shayna was talking about, I carried you all over the place, I was like, well, why doesn't Ronda say I beat your ass in real life a bunch of times? But I don't know if they actually ever had a UFC fight.
I don't think they ever did.
For the record, Ronda would have kicked the crap out of her at the time.
I did like the rewriting of history, though. Shayna's not the one who was responsible for Ronda Rousey getting over into WWE.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that.
You know who did, right?
But I don't know who got Shayna Baszler over, but I know Ronda Rousey didn't need anybody's help.
No, but do you know who brought her in?
What's that?
Do you know who's responsible for her coming over?
Shayna?
No, Ronda.
I would imagine Vince McMahon.
No. Kurt Angle's the one that got her to sign with WWE.
All right.
That's cool.
That's why her first match was at WrestleMania as Kurt Angle's tag team partner.
I've been sitting here watching that match with the Bullet Club and
I thought her first match.
what's his name?
You said Ronda, right?
Yeah.
I thought her first match at WrestleMania was with The Rock as The Rock's tag team partner.
No, it's Kurt Angle's tag team partner.
Who'd they face?
I don't remember. It's been a few years. Honestly, I don't remember.
Because I remember her tagging with The Rock, and they faced off against Triple H and Steph.
What were you saying, Jason?
Sorry, Jason.
Oh, I was just watching the Collision show right here, and it's a pretty good match with the Bullet Club and the other guys. A tag match. They've been going out of here pretty good. It's not too bad.
Yeah, the FTR, right, Rich?
Yeah, FTR.
Yeah, I think those guys are pretty good. They're good on the mic and they're good in the ring. I think they bring a lot to professional wrestling as a television show.
I just popped open a separate chat window thing up there and typed in TNT, and it was on there watch live. I clicked it.
Yeah.
I got it on mute.
CM Punk was going to come across your TV screen in about
Oh, I got
35 minutes.
I got a minimize button up here. I get rid of that.
Do you care at all about the AEW tournament for the women?
Hold on. I was looking it up. It was Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie at WrestleMania. So you had the opponents right. I had her partner right. Barbecue.
Which Mania was that?
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
34.
34. I'll have to go look at that because I remember her tagging with The Rock because The Rock went and pulled her out of the stands.
Her first official match was her and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie at WrestleMania 34.
Yeah, that's the hook there, probably. Barbecue is the official match. Like her jumping out of the stands as a spectator
Maybe.
out might be what you're thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
What year was this?
That would have been whenever. What WrestleMania did they just have? Was it 38?
95.
39, I thought.
39, so 5 years ago.
This awkward silence is brought to you by Blackout Coffee Company.
Yeah, so 2018. So 5 years ago.
So like 5 years after Ronda Rousey stopped looking strong.
Well, no, it would have been after that. She would have stopped looking strong before that because she got her ass whooped her last 2 UFC fights before that.
Go to hell, man. That bitch from Fast and Furious whooped her ass. She's just an itty bitty thing. You didn't probably watch that Fast and Furious movie, did you?
I've watched the first one, and that was it. I haven't seen any other ones other than the first one.
Well, Ronda was in it when she was pretty pumped up. She was gonna beat the hell out of the fucking little Mexican girl and tore the hell out of this like fancy apartment over in like Saudi Arabia and shit. Ronda was all big and mean and bad, and the little girl whipped her ass.
Okay.
I think Ronda Rousey has lots of problems when it comes to being a wrestler. She's really small, which is a problem. She has no muscle definition, and she never did as a UFC fighter either. She wasn't ever known to be like ripped or anything. So therefore, marketing her as a badass is difficult. She's not good on the microphone, and she's good to sit down with an interview and ask her questions because she'll just answer. Like she's pretty good at just answering questions like in interviews, but being a character on the mic, she's not very good at it at all. She's not a very good technical wrestler, even though I do think she is phenomenal at taking a beating. She really is good at selling. Even with the Shayna Baszler the other day on TV, she dumped her over the ropes. Ronda landed on her head and still was all right. And then when Shayna kneed her in the face,
Oh,
that was that looked personal.
Yeah, that looked wicked.
An inch higher with that ball of your kneecap, and Ronda might have been spitting some teeth out.
Uh-huh.
And Ronda sold that really well. And then even at the end with the get back here,
Yeah.
she
That
did well.
that knee from Baszler looked like Kenny Omega giving somebody the V trigger, for God's sake.
Yeah. And you'd figure Ronda, because Ronda knows how to fight. I mean, she's a world class fighter, so you'd figure she'd know how to be better offensively. But she's pretty stiff, so she's not gonna like do backflips or what are they called, where the Stardust thing or whatever, where you run and do a flip and land on the guys.
Mhm.
That kind of stuff. So she needs to be able to learn how to do the arm drag takedowns and the headlocks and the drop kicks. And the problem is when a 15-pound woman drop kicks somebody, is it really supposed to hurt?
What Kingpin's getting at is she's not Mrs. Ricochet.
Well, in her UFC, she probably walked around 150 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
on bad times, 155 pounds. She fought at 135. Now she probably weighs about 115 pounds.
I'd say she weighs more than that.
She's pretty skinny these days, man.
You've met my daughter. She's pretty skinny, and she weighs more than 115 pounds, man.
Oh, I know, bones and hair and stuff weigh a lot, so.
Man, this Bullet Club and FTR are still going at it.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, I don't have a lot of experience with him yet, but the Jay White guy is a real superstar. He's excellent in the ring, very marketable because the way he looks, and he's good on the microphone. Uh, I think I thought like when he first came in, they'd have him more of a solo artist going after guys like Kenny Omega and MJF and Chris Jericho and stuff. I think they kind of threw him in the toilet, put him in with the tag team thing again. Not a fan of Juice Robinson.
Yeah, I think they got him tagging with Juice right now because until they get the whole Bullet Club, I mean, not Bullet Club. Elite used to be Bullet Club, but they're not Bullet Club anymore. The Elite was actually a faction of the Bullet Club. But until they get everything sorted with the Elite and Blackpool Combat Club and what's going on with MJF and Adam Cole and the situation with CM Punk and everything, until they get all this situated, I don't think they know what to do with Jay White, and which is why they got him tagging with Juice right now.
Please, barbecue. Get on the phone and call Tony Khan. Let him know that we don't need the Bucks and Adam Page versus the Dark Order every single television show.
Oh God!
Holy
Yeah.
crap! This trios match has been going on for like eternity, and it's only
Well, the
been
problem
going
is they
on
need
for
more trios teams.
Well, that's not even the main problem. I got a feeling they were going to do something more with BCC, but you got Moxley over in Japan right now, and Bryan Danielson busted his arm in the match against Okada. So they're throwing the Dark Order in as surrogates for Blackpool Combat Club right now.
Speaking of which, was there any ever confirmation that that's why Brian and Okada's finish was kind of
Yeah, that
lackluster.
is exactly why. He has a spiral fracture of his arm.
Oh shit! I didn't realize. I mean, I knew he had a fracture and everything. He's going to be out for a little while. I didn't realize it was a spiral fracture.
Yeah, he busted his arm pretty damn bad.
Okay,
There
Bullet
was
Club
actually
one.
talk that he may have to have surgery to repair it.
Damn.
So I was right, Jason.
Yeah, Bullet Club one.
Spoilers, man.
Well, the one dude they've had a hell of a match, but all four guys ended up here in the ring at the very end. Well, many times, but a guy was getting pinned, and his teammate come in there to try to break up the pin, and so did the other one, and they both got there, and it looked like it was a 2 count, and it got broke up, and the four guys just all laid there, right? Because they thought it was a 2 count, and the ref started signaling over and count. He says, "No, that was a 3 count," and declared them the winner. Everybody was laying on the mat catching their breath, and the ref declared them the winner.
But going back to the Danielson thing, he broke his arm about halfway through that match and finished the match with an arm that he could barely move.
Yep.
Which the craziest part is he tried locking the bell lock in having a broken arm.
Yeah.
That had to have been painful as hell.
Somebody messed their ankle up in a match. I think it was on WWE. Was it Finn Balor?
You talking about with when they were facing Chris Jericho?
But that was years ago. I don't know if Kingpin would even.
No,
know
this
about
this was this week on television in the last series. Since
Okay.
somebody was in a match and they it looked to me like they actually blew their knee out or messed their ankle up, and they wrestled for the rest of the match. But man, who was it? I can't remember now. Oh well.
Yeah, I'm not drawing any memory of. I mean, I can remember back when CM Punk fucked his foot up and stuff, and he finished the match with a broken foot against Moxley.
I remember when Sin Cara broke his finger and had the match stopped.
Yeah. Neville's the guy you were talking about, by the way, Barbecue. AKA
Yeah,
Pac.
I just wasn't sure if that's
Yeah.
who
Yeah. The
Kingpin was alluded to.
The infamous, I told you he broke his ankle, asshole. I didn't hear you, motherfucker.
Oh man, that was so good. Friggin' oh my god. It was Little Nate, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For the rep. That's what I thought. And Jericho legitimately shoves him to try and draw the DQ, and like the ref's like, "What the fuck?" And so he shoves him back, like, "Don't fucking touch me!"
And yells in his face, "I didn't hear you, motherfucker!" And the microphone clearly picks up both of them.
Oh, it was great. You guys want to play a quick game?
Yes, of course I
do. I like it. Love Kingpin's enthusiasm. You other two, I question your love for wrestling. So I'm going to read off wrestlers' names, and then you got to tell me who they were in WWE. And when I say names, it's not going to be like their legal name or anything like that. This is going to be an alternate stage name that they used in another promotion.
All right, now
such as Crusher Khrushchev in NWA, you got to say who he was in WWE.
Yes.
Now, is this scream out when you know the answer, or are you going to call on people for the answers?
Oh no, just yell it out. Some of these might be tough. Other ones should be pretty easy. So first one is Big Josh. Who was he in WWE or WWF?
Man, that name doesn't even sound familiar.
You say Big Josh is from WCW.
All right, now are you going to give us incremental hints about like their performance or their costume, or if we can't get it, you're just going to move on to the
Oh
next
man, I
one?
don't. With some of these, I might be able to do that.
Well, no,
This
I
one,
mean, I'm
I
saying
don't know
if
if I could.
if you don't want to give hints, you can just be like, okay, we're going to move Big Josh to the end, and we'll come back to
Oh
that.
no, say I mean, if I can give hints, I gladly will. But with this one, I don't know if I could give a hint without just giving it away.
Okay, that's
He's a
acceptable.
he's a clown, dude.
What's up, Buck?
What
Clown
clown?
dude. The only clown I can think of is Doink.
The wrestling clown.
It is Doink
What's
the
going
Clown.
on, fellas?
Hey Buck,
Doink.
you're just in time for the game.
Doink.
Hey, Buck.
Hey, Buck.
Pull up grab a cup and pull up a chair and have yourself a nice, refreshing cup full of this Blackout Coffee Company coffee, Buck.
It's the perfect beverage while you go through these wrestlers' names.
Now I got me a glass of sweet tea, so I'm happy.
Well,
We d-
Blackout
we do
Coffee
good
sells
enough.
tea.
They can have the unloaded blend.
The next one is Kevin Steen.
Oh, that's Kevin Owens.
Yes, like I said, that I made a couple of these deliberately easy because some of these ones should make you be like Googling and stuff like that, probably. I mean, if you wish to cheat, that is. All right, next one is the Ideal Canadian.
I don't see nobody jumping up on this one.
Yeah, my answer to a statement like that would probably get Rich's channel deleted.
I'm thinking Lance Storm, but it's probably not.
It is Lance Storm.
It is Lance Storm? Okay.
Texas
Yeah.
Red.
I didn't even know who Lance Storm was until last week.
Oh shit! Really? Man, he was so underrated when he was in the WWF. Oh my god.
Lance Storm was really good. He's trained a lot
Yeah.
of guys too.
Who was the last guy you said? Red Fox?
Texas Red.
Is that one of
That's
Terry
the
Funk's
easy
alter
one,
egos?
man.
No.
No. Sounds like one he would have.
What'd you say, Jason?
That's a classic easy one, man. Seriously, you guys will remember as soon as I say it. Texas Red is Mark Calloway.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
The Undertaker.
yeah, it makes sense now.
Mean Mark.
Yeah, Mean Mark. That's why I always remembered him as Mean Mark.
I thought about going with
Mean
Mean Mark, but I was like, man, that one's going to be really easy.
Yeah, is he related to Don Callis? Because remember, Mean Mark, his last name Mean Mark was Callis.
I don't know.
I wonder if
Well,
there
you've
was
never-
ever a storyline supposed to be related.
You've never seen the two in the same room at the same time, so they're probably the same person.
No, I don't think they're the same person. It'd be kind of obvious. It's going to take more than makeup to make Don Callis look like Mark Calloway.
They call it Instagram
Yeah.
filters, Rich. Instagram filters.
I don't think that's going to help height-wise, Kingpin.
I don't know. Something about Don Callis still reminds me of Elton John. I don't know why.
He does kind of have that Elton John look to him, doesn't he?
He
Love
does.
his glasses.
He does.
It's the Rocket Man.
It's
So
the
he
suits
probably
and
takes a
glasses.
rocket. All right, this one should be another easy one. The Shockmaster.
Tugboat.
Oh, that was tugboat.
But did he go by Tugboat in WWF?
Yes, he did. Before
Oh,
he
did
was
he?
Typhoon. Before he was Typhoon, he
Let's
was
say-
Tugboat.
I didn't realize he went. I thought he was Tugboat in
Yeah.
WCW.
Nope, that was in WWE. That was
Oh,
when he
see?
was a. That was when he was a face in WWE. Came out wearing the little sailor hat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
Goofy
forgot that
bastard.
was in WWE. I don't know why I thought that was WCW before. For some reason, I thought Tugboat was Tugboat in WCW. Then went to WWE's at Typhoon, and then went back.
Nope, Typhoon was when he turned heel.
Yeah. And you know what? I just thought of something. Looking on his Wikipedia, I don't remember seeing Tugboat on there for ring names. So, Cousin Luke.
Oh, that's Bushwhacker Luke.
Yep. The Masked Canadian. This one might be tough.
That was Dusty Rhodes when he got suspended. He had to wear that mask.
Negative.
Oh.
I'm actually kind of curious if he actually was Canadian. I will say I've never known this wrestler to have lived in Canada, but he lived close to Canada.
Well, give us another hint.
Pacific Northwest.
G23.
Oh, DM Falls.
Yeah. Um, Woods. It's got to be Woods.
Oh, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Let's say Kingpin's closer. Kingpin's closer with G23.
Daniel Bryan. I mean,
Nope,
no,
wrong era. Think 80s.
80s.
One of the British Bulldogs.
No.
That wouldn't be Pacific Northwest. That'd be completely opposite end of the world.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it's barbecue. They might live in America and pretend like they're British guys. I don't know.
No, the British Bulldogs were both from England.
Yeah, they were legit.
Adrian Adonis?
No. You guys giving up on this one?
I cannot think of it.
Let's say, now, I pulled this off their Wikipedia page. It's Roddy Piper.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah, because
What?
he was trained in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was gonna use when they think they know the answers, I change the question.
That's Roddy Piper.
He only did that once. And the audio cuts out. So when he actually says it, he's just yelling at the camera. So the microphone on the camera is all that picks it up. So it's crap for a clip for me to use.
Darn it. I would like to use I came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Man, Piper was... Did you guys see where they asked Hogan about, wrestlers past that, like, if they had Twitter back in the day, like, who would have been good ones on there? And Hogan's like, I think one of the first persons he mentioned was Piper. He's like, Piper for sure, Macho, definitely would have been amazing on Twitter. I don't remember if he mentioned Dusty or not.
No, I said Dusty.
Oh, yeah, Dusty would have been epic. Flair would have been epic on the Twitters back in the day. They must have mentioned
Arn or Ole for different reasons.
Yeah, I can see it.
Gentlemen, they've all been banned from Twitter. The first.
Oh, Ole would have been banned from Twitter. There's no doubt. Ole would have ended up banned from Twitter.
But he asked about Andre, or they must have asked, like, what about Andre? And Hogan was like, don't think so. He's like if he would have actually done it, yeah, Andre would have been awesome with the Twitters. He's like, but the kind of guy Andre was, he's like, would have never fucking happened.
Andre was way too laid back, according to what everybody says about him.
There's no way on planet Earth Andre the Giant is texting on a cell phone.
Well, that's the other thing they said. They're like, yeah, and the fact that, like, he wouldn't be able to use the keyboard or the phone or anything.
Hey, have you seen the Red Dragon alien giant keyboard? That thing is massive. That thing was
No.
made for Andre the Giant. The keys are like 3 times the size of a regular standard keyboard.
I still don't know if that'd be big enough.
You got any more
I'd say,
trivia
I mean,
questions?
what's that?
You got any more trivia questions?
I do. Lord Humongous.
Is that Earthquake?
No.
I
No.
feel like
Andre the Giant.
No.
no. This is going to be one of Kane's names.
Negative.
I know the name, and I'm having a hard time placing
Uh-huh.
who it is.
Say this one I knew would ring a bell, but
I feel like I heard it on one of those rival TV shows that were on, a
Think-
couple weeks ago.
late
Ellie
80s, early
Conte.
90s.
Ellie Gante.
No, give us a hint.
No. He
Make it a
broke
small. Don't
his-
give us a big hint. Just give us his full stage name. That's all we need.
yeah.
Yeah. He broke his Sid
Leg.
Vicious.
Yes.
Sid Justice in WWE.
Yep.
Yeah. As soon as you said he broke his, it clicked.
Yeah, say because Kingpin said that, and I was like, well, what if I just said he
He didn't break.
served up justice?
Saying he broke his leg is an understatement.
Yeah. Oh my God.
His leg
But-
folded in half the wrong way.
The other hint I was going to give was world-class softball player.
Yeah. Anytime he didn't show up, it's because he was playing softball.
He actually gave up his wrestling career in the WWF for that, wasn't it? They booked him, and
That's what he said anyway. That's the joke. I mean, anytime somebody brings up,
oh, okay,
vicious, or that's the joke about he's the aficionado of softball.
all right. Next one, Jake Smith Jr.
Jake the Snake.
Yep. All right, this one, I kind of
Can we? I want to interrupt. Just going back to the WWE rival show. As much as Jake the Snake is an iconic figure in all of professional wrestling, like you can't really have a conversation without bringing up Jake the Snake. What a scumbag!
Mm-hmm.
His daughter told. Now, to be fair, he did apparently change his life at the end.
Yes.
So
yes.
fair dealings to him. But this one specific story, his daughter said that she had to pick him up across the country,
Mm-hmm.
and he drove all the way across the back to the other side of the country with his young daughter in the car with him, smoking crack the whole way. And she said she'd never been so terrified. He would run off the road. He'd run stop signs. He'd be hitting the pipe and swerving in different. I mean, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've heard,
really?
I've heard
He's
Jake tell the story. Back when Jake and DDP were doing the podcast before DDP left to do something else, that was one of the first things they talked about is about how fucked up Jake's life was. And there's a movie or miniseries or something that DDP did. Well, it was Saving Jake Roberts or something like that's what the name of the show was.
So he's
And they would
worse
show
than Hunter.
clips from that. So what was that, Jason?
So Jake the Snake was worse than Hunter.
Yeah, he was worse than Hunter Biden, yes.
yeah. I'd say the only person that might have been doing more coke than Jake and Hunter was Junkyard Dog. Just watched the biography on him from A&E. Wow.
And whoever was playing against Lawrence Taylor and the Giants.
Yeah. I'm sorry. The friggin' stories that Lawrence Taylor has. Oh my God. Like, just the fact that he would order prostitutes and then send them to the opposing team the night before a game. I was like, that's friggin' epic.
Yeah, the stories that Jake Roberts would tell, it's amazing this guy's still alive.
Oh, yeah. That's the case for a lot of these guys, though.
Oh, Jake in particular, man. I mean,
Oh
he
yeah.
should have been dead 5 times over by now.
Oh, it's like, I mean, look at Scott Hall. You know, the shit that he went through. Friggin' just so many of these guys.
Jake Roberts is the Nikki Sixx of professional wrestling. If you know the Nikki Sixx tour, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Dead man walking.
Uh-huh.
So we got 2 more here. This one, like I said, throw you guys for a loop. I'm almost certain of it. Tigre Blanco.
Oh, I know that the Blanco.
Dean Malenko.
Nope.
Tito Santana.
Nope. I will say this right now. It's a Japanese wrestler.
Ricky Steamboat.
No.
Steamboat's not Japanese.
He's Hawaiian.
I'd also
Greg
say
Muta.
think of
Tajiri.
nailed it.
Mr. Fuji.
No, it's Tajiri.
Oh,
I was thinking about it when you guys were saying, just rattling off things.
Yeah, Richard's looking it up on Google.
No, I'm not. I'm sitting here playing with a knife to try and irritate Kingpin.
All right, this last one. I know I've heard this one for this wrestler. So chances are you guys may have as well. Mike Unabomb.
Mike Rotunda.
No.
Darby Allen.
Darby Allin's not even WWE, man.
I don't know, but I remember the guy that was in WWE that his name was Adam Bomb, and he had the yellow contacts.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I don't remember
that rings a bell. Yeah, I remember something about that.
Yeah, that was in the 90s. He would go on to be one of the 2 guys in Chronic in WCW.
I thought that was Dr. Dre.
Ron Chronic.
I'm trying to think of a good clue. Debuted with Jim Cornette for a manager.
And his name is Mike Bomb, like Adam Bomb.
No, Mike Unabomb, like Unabomber.
What does his outfit look like?
It's got to be one of the Midnight Express.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Who the hell else debuted with Jim Cornette as a manager?
What does his costume look like?
He wears. Oh,
The Midnight Express never went to WWE, did they?
I don't think. Think 90s, Rich.
Yeah. Yokozuna? No, Mr. Fuji was his manager.
Ripped a cage door off.
I cannot think who the fuck Jim Cornette managed in WWE.
Ripped a cage door off.
I really wasn't watching WWE in the 90s.
Well,
Speaking of ripping cage doors off, where's Omos and Bobby Lashley been lately?
I don't know.
Ripped a cage door off. That sounds familiar.
Vader?
No.
That just sounds like something Vader would do, so let's do it up there.
Yeah, I give up.
I'm. had a terrible gimmick before he got his good gimmick.
Kane?
Yes.
Isaac Yankem?
That's what I was getting ready to say was the Yankum guy.
Oh wait, I'm trying to remember. Did he come out with Paul Bearer or
Paul Bear?
Cornette? Was it?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought he came out with Jim Cornette.
Paul
when
Bear
he-
brought him in to get rid of the Undertaker when Undertaker turned on him.
Only as Kane though, because he did
Yeah.
the Dr. Yankum spit for a while before he did
Yeah,
Kane.
Isaac Yankem.
Yes.
I don't think he had a manager when he was Isaac Yankem.
Yeah,
But-
no, not to my knowledge.
He also had a character before Isaac Yankum, which might
Yeah,
have been
he
the
was
Unabomb
the
guy.
he was the fake Diesel, if I remember right.
That was the Unabomb guy.
No, fake Diesel was Unabomb would have been somewhere else before WWE. In WWE, he was fake Diesel, then Isaac Yankem, then Kane.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually had a couple of really bad gimmicks before. Maybe I just thought it was Cornette because Cornette came up with the name and was the one that kept pushing him.
That probably would have been about the time when Cornette was on commentary.
And then that might be why I was thinking it.
Yeah.
Because Cornette, he's a loud dude, so when he rips off the cage and everything, or rips off the cage door.
Cornette loud, you don't say. Cornette was Jimmy Hart, and he didn't need the megaphone.
Yeah,
Was that the last of your names there, Rob?
it was.
Now, a real quick side note. Hopefully, certain guys named Rich White were paying attention because that's how a host is supposed to do trivia for a live
Hey, I
show.
have done trivia very well on this show. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he just said thank you, barbecue. He was
You're welcome.
freaking up, but he said thank you, barbecue, for teaching me how to properly do a show.
Anytime.
Yeah, I got one in that vein, and we'll see if you guys know this one. I'll give you the WWE name. You gotta give me what he was somewhere else. Who was the Red Rooster?
Oh,
The red
frick.
what?
God dang it!
Yeah, no.
Oh man, Terry Taylor.
Thank you. That's. I was trying to think of the last name. I knew it was Perry, but
Okay. WWE name. Texas Tornado. Where was he?
oh, that's Perry Von Erich.
Titty Twister.
That was me back in high school in my wrestling days.
That's actually a good one. I didn't even think about putting Perry Von Erich on that one.
That's
But
who
like I said, I was trying to.
That's who I thought that Red Texas was, or Texas Red,
Oh,
or whatever.
Texas Red.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking about, Kerry Von Erich.
Now, talk about guys that broke an ankle. Not quite.
Yeah.
Just had it amputated there.
Yeah, motorcycle accident, wasn't it?
But it was, and like, how good was he still, even with a prosthetic foot? Like, holy cow!
How snake bit was that entire family?
Oh my gosh!
God.
It's like the friggin' Kennedys of wrestling.
You got to feel bad for Fritz's wife. I would say Fritz, but he was supposed to be a dick. But to be his wife and watch her whole family die except for Kevin because of wrestling, I mean, God. Anyway, what was Paul Bearer's name before WWE?
Oh, son of a!
Percy Pringle.
Percival
Great
Pringle
job, Buck.
III.
Yeah, Percy
Yes.
Pringle.
Yeah.
This one might be a little easy. I'll give you the pre-WWE name, and you gotta give me the WWE name. The Dingo Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yep. Like I said, it might be a little easy.
All right, I'll
Okay.
give you guys a little. I'll see if I can dip my toes in the water here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you the clue, and then you guys have to give me the name. And it's the most wonderful, most patriotic, most unbelievably flavorful, relaxing, and enjoying product and company that's ever existed in all of humanity.
I'm going to
Kingpin.
go
Black
on.
Rifle Coffee Company.
Yes, I'm going to go on and say
edit that part out, Rich.
yeah, I'm going to go out and say on a limb and say Blackout Coffee Company. Going back to the wrestling names one, I'll give you the pre-WWE name, and you give me who he is now in WWE. Eli Drake.
Gunther.
Nope.
Elias.
Nope.
Drake Maverick. I know that's a no. I'm just being a smartass.
Boogs.
Nope.
I know
Bobby
this too, and I
Lashley.
can't think of it.
Matt Riddle.
Nope. Matt Riddle's always been Matt Riddle. That's his real name.
Don't
Kevin
make me-
Nash.
Yeah.
Give you a hint, Kingpin. He's from an area not far from you and me.
Black Cat.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
He's a current WWE wrestler. Not far from where he's from isn't far from either one of us. About halfway between us, in fact.
This stupid Tim Pool.
He's not a wrestler.
And he lives much closer to me than he does you anyway.
Oh, come on, Kingpin. You should know that from that. We texted about it.
Which television show does he want more, SmackDown or Raw?
James Ellsworth.
That would be too much of a giveaway. I can't tell you that.
SmackDown. Why can I not think of this?
And
Yeah,
what was the name again, Rich?
Eli Drake. I thought for sure Kingpin would have got it when I said about him being from somewhere very close to the two of us.
Dude, you could ask me where I'm from right now, and I probably couldn't tell you that.
Yeah, but we were just texting about this, man.
Come on, man.
I have no idea.
We thought for sure he was going to win a certain match.
Logan Paul.
Are you talking
No.
about my next door neighbor, MJF?
No.
I don't know. I give up.
Yeah, this is getting ridiculous. There was a clue hidden in that statement if you can figure it out.
Gizzard Gary?
Katy Perry.
I tell you the answer, and you're gonna kick yourself.
Well, and just while we have Gizzard Gary here, we have to give a big thank you to Gizzard Gary for promoting Blackout Coffee Company and sending Blackout Coffee Company this way. And so tonight we've had 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 20 plus seconds of a Blackout Coffee Company commercial. All thanks to Gizzard Gary.
Yeah,
Thanks, Giz.
yeah, that was.
Thank you, Giz.
Thing.
All right, so
Thanks, Gizzard.
what's the answer?
L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Really?
How do I know that?
That's not who I was thinking of.
Dude, when I said, where's LA Knight from originally, Kingpin? We were just texting this.
Yeah, I know that. I thought about LA Knight, but I was like, well, why wouldn't he have been like, hey, Kingpin, the guy that you're in love with now, or he made fun of me
Because that would
somehow.
have been too obvious.
Right. That's why I
By the
was
way,
surprised.
folks, I'd just like to point out that yet another game of Rich White's handling rigged. Openly admitted just now that him and Kingpin were texting about this before the show started.
There should be, Gizzard. Jason just used it.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, it's printed right there in the right there. Use code RICHW20.
Yeah. And the URL is done
right
up as a tiny URL because YouTube was being stupid.
Right in the middle of the little area there about the show.
Gary says that's cheating. It wouldn't do the URL properly if I just copied and pasted that in there, so I had to use tiny URL to make it easier on the viewers.
Gary, you
Because half
got to
the
read the
URL is
fine print. You got to whip out that magnifying glass to see
for some reason it only made half of the URL work when I pasted it in there. The rest of it, half of it will be the blue that you click on, and the rest was all white, which means they wouldn't get the whole link. So I had to use tiny URL to do it. First time I've ever had that issue.
Any other time that you have an issue in life, to sit down, make yourself a smooth, refreshing, creamy cup of blackout coffee, and take a deep breath and just evaluate the problem in front of you. And it'll all be okay.
Thank you, Gary. I mean, it was one of the panelists, but
Do you have any more trivia for us, Rich?
Oh man. This is spontaneous trivia, so I'm trying to think of something.
What about the whole mess with the women's WWE championship division and Io Sky almost blowing her shot at cashing in the Money in the Bank?
Well, that would have been dumbass's fault for being slow on trying to getting the referee the briefcase.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably did get a report on that. Said so you get a cut of that too, right? So Gary said he knows who it was because he gets a report on it too. Yeah.
So this company shared my personal information?
No, just who ordered and how much.
Oh,
Doesn't share your address or anything like that.
oh, okay.
Your
Just
name's
my
all
identity
over
and
that, Jason.
my identity and my shopping habits, huh?
Well,
It's on the list.
they inform us so we know where the commission's coming from. I think none of your personal information. We don't got your credit card number or anything like that.
Just your email, your blood type, name of your
I already
firstborn
got his
children.
email.
Damn, I just ordered 5 containers of it and used Jason's credit card. Damn.
That's all right. Put it on the card. I'll start making videos like Squid.
All right, I got one for you. Oz.
The Wizard?
Kevin Nash.
Okay, I'll give you Kevin Nash because he did use Kevin Nash in one point in WWE.
And
But I
Diesel.
was actually looking for Diesel, but yeah,
I said
Well, that's
Diesel
what he said first.
Oh, did he? I
Well,
didn't hear the
wait
Diesel
a minute.
part.
Isn't Kevin Nash his real name, though?
Yeah.
So that's exactly accurate.
Well, no, because not all wrestlers use their real name. Kane's real name, I know Kane's real name. Do you know Kane's real name?
Yeah, it's like Mark Rogers or something like that.
It's
He's
like
a
No, it's Glenn
governor.
Jacobs.
Mr.
Yeah.
Mayor or something.
Yeah, he's Tennessee's
Glenn Jacobs,
mayor.
mayor. Yeah, he's the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee.
Glenn.
Yep, Glenn Jacobs. That's his name.
Well, boys, I'm going to go ahead and black out for the night. It's been a very tough week and a very tough day today.
You should watch spiking your coffee like that, Jason. It can be dangerous.
I could have used some blackout coffee right now to energize me and pump me back up, but man, it's been so hot this week. I've just withered, melted away every day, man. I'm just worn out.
Well, look at the bright side, Jason. You might have delayed, but at least you got your order in the best shipping possible and the fastest shipping possible in all of human history. You're going to get your order of blackout coffee delivered right to your front door. So you'll be enjoying it in any day now.
Yes, I chose the U.S. Postal Service, I believe. So, good old red, white, and blue truck pull up out
Hey,
front.
look.
Hopefully, it doesn't get lost in Baltimore.
It's safe enough to put your presidential vote in, so it's got to be safe enough to carry your coffee.
And it's got an eagle, so there you go.
We just know you didn't go with United Parcel Service because, their letters are yellow.
What can Brown do for you?
I didn't want my blackout coffee order in my special mug to get robbed at gunpoint and stolen off the big brown truck.
It could have been worse. It could have been DHL. Their color actually is yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do DHL unless you want your stuff 2 weeks late.
Yeah. Whenever I order something and they shipped it with DHL, I'm like, oh, well, that's going to be here in 3 weeks.
I'll tell you what, when I ordered my watch from the store in England, because they were the only place that carried it anymore, because it was the official watch of the British Navy at the time still, before it was completely discontinued by Citizen, it came DHL, and it was here a day after they shipped it from England. So
no, I've had terrible results with DHL. Like literally, like when somebody would get it to you in less than a week, it's literally 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks with DHL, man.
Yep.
I've only had one. That was the only package I've ever had delivered DHL, and
Mr. ATF agent, wake up and take this timestamp down. Rich just admitted that he was buying military grade equipment from overseas.
it's a wristwatch.
ITAR.
ITAR doesn't apply to wristwatches.
A tactical wristwatch, wasn't it?
No, it's a dive watch.
There you go.
Before you got your mic, Jason, take care, man. So we're probably going to hold you on here for another 20 minutes, but if you decide to just dip out, take care.
Yeah, I got to hop off here, man.
You got anything you want to plug or anything before you jump out?
No, man. Just go order yourself some blackout coffee. If you drink coffee anyways, why not? Go ahead, try it out.
And if you don't drink coffee, there's hot chocolate and tea.
I'll promote Jason's channel for him since he's so humble. Look out for Jason's Blackout Coffee Company reviews and his 30% discount.
Absolutely. Well, you guys take care, man. Try to kick out before 3.
All right, Jason, you have a good one.
Yeah.
See you, Jason.
See you, Jason.
Later, Jason.
See you guys.
That was a good sign off. I like that kick out before 3.
Well, it fits the show.
Yeah, especially with you guys, because you'll probably be up until 3 o'clock in the morning.
I think he was actually referring to a wrestling camp.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're the one that doesn't get comedy, not me.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So what else happened? What else happened on the TV shows that was interesting to talk about?
Um,
Do you care
Lo-
about the? Go ahead.
I was gonna say Logan Paul versus Ricochet.
You know, I think the problem in that match is going to be Ricochet. Uh, I think Logan Paul. And I saw the replays, and it looked like he almost killed Ricochet doing that flip onto the table.
Oh, the other way around. No, it's the other way around.
Well, one of them landed on their head and
Yeah,
went through the
Logan
table.
Paul landed on his head.
Okay. Excuse me. Logan
But
Paul. Logan Paul is a good in-ring wrestler.
yeah,
And obviously he's phenomenal at the high flying stuff because that's what he does. But he can also do the small moves, the fill-in stuff. I don't think Ricochet's got much in-ring tactical wrestling skill.
oh, he does. I've seen Ricochet in Japan. I've seen him when he was in Lucha Underground as Prince Puma. Yeah, Ricochet is really good. It's another one of those situations they just want him to do the high flippy shit and don't let him do everything he's capable of doing.
Well, that's what the match
I was
against
going to
Logan
say
Paul is
the
going to be.
last few times I think Ricochet, he ain't really been doing all that great. Look like he's been getting his
It's
ass whooped a lot.
Well, yeah, because
what?
he's been wrestling that Japanese guy Shukanama, Shinsuke, and then Bronson Reed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's odd that they all of a sudden pulled him from that and put him against Logan Paul
If,
based
if
off of, based off of two incidents.
if they do the match, if they do a good wrestling match, then it could be absolutely phenomenal between those two guys. I think what they're going to do is put on an acrobatic show, and
Mhm.
you could probably drink every time all four of their feet are touching the canvas at the same time
Yeah,
because
right.
they're going to rely on all of them jumping off the top ropes and jumping out and jumping the whole time.
Yeah, and this whole thing, what they're basing this whole feud off of, is the Royal Rumble when they did the move where they slammed into each other in midair, halfway, where each of them jumped halfway across the ring and smashed into each other, and then what happened at Money in the Bank. That's what they're basing the whole thing off of, is those two incidents. They're pulling Ricochet out of an actual feud that he was in because of two times where these guys had an interaction in multi-person matches. I just say buying the build-up for it, but if they let both guys do what they're capable of doing, it could be a really good match.
I think that when you got, I hate to say it because I wouldn't want it to go that way, but if you're trying to bring Logan Paul into mainstream wrestling and not just viral stuff, that's what they're looking for is more viral stuff with the Ricochet
Yeah.
thing. But
Oh
you've
yeah.
got LA Knight. He could beef with LA Knight. Grayson Waller. It'd be a perfect time for Logan and Grayson Waller to start the next historical 20-year feud that they make TV shows about in the future. Uh,
Yeah, but something tells me that they're either not done with Grayson Waller and Edge, or they're not done with Grayson Waller and Cena.
I think Grayson Waller is going to be one of those high profile every match kind of guys. Like I don't think you're going to see Grayson Waller do any fill in type of matches. So I agree with you. They're going to keep him on the upper edge of the Hall of Fame level wrestlers.
Yeah, I just think they're setting him up where he's either going to be taking on Edge or Cena at SummerSlam.
But there's Finn Balor. He could beef with Finn Balor. He could
Well, no,
Austin
they'd have to.
Theory.
Who are we talking about? Logan Paul still?
Yeah.
Well, remember he's a Raw superstar. So him in theory, they'd have to go cross brands, and I don't think they're going to do that.
Oh, okay. He's not a free agent.
No, not that I remember anyway. I believe he is Raw. From where they were talking.
Remember when I was Raw once?
Yeah.
Never go in Raw.
Uh-huh.
Bad news.
Oh, it kind of seems like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are perpetually the tag team champions for life. I mean, the tag team divisions, the Street Profits have disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings and the Alpha Company they wrestle every week against each other.
Yeah.
And then there's nobody else because you can't give Pretty Deadly the titles right away.
Well, apparently one of the dark matches for SmackDown was KO and Sammy defending against Pretty Deadly, and they beat them.
I can see a situation where Pretty Deadly beats Sammy. Pretty Deadly's a tag team, like Jason talked about before. They're an established tag team, not just two guys tag teaming, which Sammy and Kevin are, even if they're friends. I just don't see them pushing them on the main television show for the public to go around and carry the belts just yet. Not to say that they won't put the titles on them, but they've only been on the roster for 2 months.
Yeah. What irritates me is Imperium. Ludwig Kaiser and whatever they changed the other guy's name to. His name was Fabian Eichner. I can't remember.
Giovanni something.
Yeah. Those two are a really good tag team. If you go back and you watch when they were in NXT, now they're just Gunther's freaking flunkies who can't win a match to save their lives. Those guys should be at the top of the list as tag team contenders for the titles. And instead, they're a joke.
Yeah. All right. Braun Breaker versus Ivana Dragovic, or whatever that guy's name is, on NXT. I have a bad feeling that that's just going to be another Dijak Ivana Dragovic match where.
Yeah, they're going to beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
All right. Damn it, I can't remember the guy's name, the one that you're butchering. But him and Gunther.
Dragunov.
Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah.
Him and Gunther had a hell of a match back in NXT UK back in the day for the NXT UK title where they beat the holy hell out of each other.
Well, he's tough as nails, and he can really sell the character, but they need to make him more. And call me, I always fall back on it. He needs to be more of a technical wrestler. He can't just flip out and go crazy and get hit in the head with a shotgun and kick out. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that would be a good opportunity because he's clearly not just gonna go in there and out tough guy Braun Breaker. So they're gonna have to do something in the match to where if he actually beats Breaker, he does it without out tough guy and Braun because that's not gonna sell.
Yeah. Speaking of Gunther, we talked about it last week. Gunther and freaking McIntyre at SummerSlam. Oh, Lord, I'd hate to have to follow that match.
Yeah, I think that's my thing goes back to the contract. If McIntyre must be happy as a regular civilian because he's already back, and he's already back in title contention. So he's
Mhm.
back in the main star role. So he must have got a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
I would imagine that he's going to play good, since he just like the your quarterback plays like crap because he just signed a 10-year contract, or you know how the sports thing goes with the.
Well, you get a guy that's as good as McIntyre, is as good on the mic as McIntyre, and looks like McIntyre, and you don't have him going for a championship, you're doing something wrong. Let's be perfectly honest. I mean, McIntyre. You look at McIntyre. That guy just screams professional wrestling champion. He's got the look. He's got the crowd behind him. He's got the in-ring ability. Him against Gunther, they're going to tear a roof off of that place.
Gotta have clean matches too. The interference matches. Aside from a little bit of distraction, I'm cool with the distraction interference, but like the extra fighting interference that goes on is getting a little bit much on both TV shows, all the TV shows.
If you look at it, it's always been that way. You've always had the bad guys having somebody interfere for them. It's just now, instead of it being the managers interfering, because the manager has gone the way of the dodo, except in extreme rare circumstances, you got stable mates coming out and it being the ones interfering. I mean, how many times did Jim Cornette whack somebody with a racket back in the day when the ref wasn't looking, or Jimmy Hart whack somebody with a megaphone when the referee wasn't looking? Mr. Fuji throws salt in somebody's face when the ref wasn't looking. It's not a new thing. It's just because you don't have the manager there to interfere anymore, it's got to be one of the other wrestlers that comes out and gets one over on the referee when the ref isn't looking, or the ref's knocked out, or what have you. It's not a new phenomenon. It's just how it's done had to change.
I just think it's overdone now.
My favorite was always J.J. Dillon taking off the shoe and whacking somebody in the head with his shoe. What the hell was J.J. wearing in his shoes to where it hurt somebody that damn bad?
Speaking of moves like that, remember the Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin?
Uh-huh.
But I always thought, even as a kid, even when I was like really into it as a kid, I liked Ronnie Garvin. But his finishing move would be the knockout punch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why wouldn't you just punch him at the beginning of the match?
Yeah,
Like
right.
if your
He
one
had
punch,
to weaken him first. That's why.
your one punch is so devastating. Why don't you just punch
Uh-huh.
him right away?
Yeah, what's really funny, if you remember the mid '80s, where they had Ronnie Garvin being the all-American guy, going out there and doing stuff for Old Glory and all that. Ronnie Garvin was French Canadian.
Well, and then you also had the fact, as a kid, I couldn't escape a closed fist punch is an illegal move. How can you win the match on an illegal move?
It still is. Like, technically speaking, a closed fist is still illegal. Remember back in the day when taping your fist was illegal? The only time you ever saw guys wrapping their fists was if they were in a no DQ match. Now everybody and their mother's out there wearing tape on their fists.
They had some girl wrestling. Who's that? Who's that Japanese girl from AEW that carries the stick around?
Oh, Hikaru Shida.
Yeah, she's like the good girl again now.
Mm-hmm.
She was in a match. I guess it was Friday night. Might have been Wednesday, but I think it was Friday night with
Friday.
some like short white lady.
Yeah.
And the short white lady had like a super impressive record, and they were like, "Oh, she's a veteran. I've never seen her before in my life."
Oh, Marina Shafir.
Yeah,
She was one of Ronda Rousey's training buddies in UFC. She's married to Roddy Strong, the guy, Alan Adam Cole's buddy who just came over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never seen her. I was like, why are they promoting her like she's on every TV show? I've never heard of her.
Yeah, I know who she is. She used to be in NXT. She was one of Shayna Baszler's lackeys in NXT. She was one of the four horsewomen of UFC with Baszler, Rousey, and I forget who the other one was.
What's going to happen with the two jocks from NXT that have to leave the show since they lost to the Dyad?
Who was it? The Creed brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, they'll probably get called up and be the next Steiner brothers. Good Lord, they're good enough. Those guys are crazy good.
Yeah,
Hopefully they
crowd
stop wearing the Diamond Mine shit because that's not even a stable anymore.
Well, the crowd really likes the Creed brothers too, and they're both excellent wrestlers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They remind me a lot of the Steiner brothers.
I just don't understand why you take them off the TV show.
Because they're going to get caught up to the main roster. That's why. That's how they rate them off NXT.
Yeah.
It's like back in the day when you'd have a loser leave town, and then the next week the guy would show up in like WWE or vice versa in WCW. That's how they're rating them off the show.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't kill everybody like they did Pretty Deadly. Come on.
Right.
These guys can hold their breath for an awful long time.
I'm interested to see how the Don and the underboss thing plays out. Like, if the underboss, if Stax stabbed the Don in the back, or if he's really got his back, or what.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody will end up waking up with a horse head in their bed.
All right. Shout out Barbecue if you're still out there. I see he dropped off.
Yeah, he dropped. Did he leave a comment or did he just drop?
Nah, he just dropped out.
He might be having internet issues. That happens sometimes with him.
He might have needed to go make a fresh pot of blackout coffee.
Uh-huh. But at least when they write somebody off in WWE, they're not actually dead. You ever watch when somebody, well, you don't watch Impact. Watch when they write somebody off in Impact. They literally do a storyline where you think they killed them.
Right.
Where they've had guys get electrocuted and then stuff. I mean, it's crazy. They actually make it look like they died. And which is really funny when they show up like 3 years later because they didn't make it wherever else they were going.
Mm-hmm.
They damn sure didn't die from that exploding barbed wire.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't even
It's
think
funny.
they got first degree burns or anything.
It's funny you bring that up. That match is in the AEW game that just came out. I was watching somebody that was playing the game just to see what the game looked like, and they were playing that match. When you start it, you can choose how you want the ending to go. Whether you want the ring to blow up violently, blow up a little bit, or do the complete total fizzle like it did it at the match we watched. Like, they actually made that an option for that match stipulation.
I thought it was a pretty decent match until the
Oh, it
end.
made Eddie Kingston look like a total ass.
Yeah.
Kingston out there, oh, I gotta save John. I gotta cover him up. Then, sparklers go off essentially.
As some of
And
it looked like
he
something
sells
you
it like
buy.
he sold it like he was dead.
Yeah, you can get that goddamn fireworks from Walmart.
Oh man! Well, it glitched. The electronics. There was an electronics glitch which didn't set the pyro off properly. They have said repeatedly that they had tested this like 3 times before the match, during that day to make sure everything was going to go off without a hitch. Something happened in one of the matches. One of the plugs got damaged or something. They hit the switch. and it fizzled.
Huh.
It's one of those things, man. The joys of live television, as they say. You know, Murphy's Law was in full effect.
I
But I
think
was,
that's another thing that, in my opinion, puts AEW. We talked about it with Jason last week about how they don't ignore WWE as real. Like they embrace the fact that there's a thing called WWE and they're not scared to talk about it. Uh, the way they interact with the crowd. Like you brought up Roman Reigns feeding off the crowd the other day. And a lot of times in the WWE, though, like Rhea will tell the crowd, shut up, or you be quiet when I'm talking. But the AEW, they they do more like Edge was doing the other day. Edge was out there talking to the people in the crowd and pointing at specific people in the crowd. Like when I came down AEW makes the crowd more a part of the dialogue, I guess you could say.
yeah. And that's one thing I'll say about Cody. If you watch Cody when he comes out to do his promos, he tries to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole giving the weight belt to one of the kids and signing it for them and stuff. You know, he tries to make the crowd like that. But you gotta remember, he helped start AEW too.
Yeah.
And you're talking about referencing WWE. Jericho did last night on Rampage. I just don't remember what the fuck it was he said now. But I picked up on it right away, and I just don't remember what the hell it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
It might have been during the commercial breaks. Remember, when I watch it, I don't get the commercials like you guys, like you do when you're watching it on regular
Yeah,
TV.
I fast forwarded through most of Friday's show anyway.
I don't even remember what match it was. I just remember Jericho said something. And I'll be damned if I can remember what it was. But I laughed when he said it. I just can't remember what it was. It was just me. It was like Jericho really baby facey last night.
Hey man, I'm telling you, that was shocking to me when he came out and he was just enjoying spending time with the crowd after his music went off. I was expecting him to sit there and soak it in like he always does, and then him to turn around and be like, "All right, shut up, all you dirty, disgusting, filthy pigs." Because that's what he always does. They cheer for him and they sing his music, and he stands there and enjoys it, and then he cusses them out.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't know if this was on regular TV or if this was on the feed I watched, but they're talking. It was during the Brian Cage and Big Bill versus Trent Beretta and Mike, what's his face, whatever, like him, Sindel or whatever, their match, and Jericho's talking about how they're big muscle guys, and he starts talking about how he's a big muscle guy. And then Tony Schiavone calls him on it, and then Excalibur goes on about how Jericho's a big muscle
How about the Tony Schiavone sighting at the gym
guy. Yeah.
with MJF and Adam Cole?
Mm-hmm.
I like the MJF is on the outside of the ring going double clothesline, buddy. Come on,
Yeah.
double clothesline.
Yeah. Tag me in, double clothesline.
All right, guys, I'm going to get off of here. It's been a long day for me.
All right, Buck. Have a good one, brother.
All
All
right,
right,
Buck. Take care, man.
I'll see y'all later. Thanks for the invite, Rich.
Yep.
See
Go
you,
buy
bud.
some blackout coffee, man.
I might have to. I won't even drink coffee.
Look, you can get some tea or hot chocolate.
Makes great gifts.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
All right.
All right, I'll see y'all later.
See
All
you,
right.
man.
Catch you later. The birthday party after their match.
Yeah. Eat the cake. Eat the
Eat
cake.
my cake.
Eat the
Eat
cake.
my cake. And Jeff's face goes right in the cake. He was gonna push Adam Cole into the cake, and Cole turned it on him.
And he's sitting there, and the crowd's cheering him on. He starts eating the cake off his
Yeah.
face.
Uh-huh. Pretty good cake.
That's funny, man.
Mhm.
I was gonna text you on Wednesday, and because Wednesday's show was off the hook. It was all kinds of nutty, so I was gonna text you, but I was figured we just wait and talk about it today.
I was tempted to text you when I watched it on Thursday because I watched it next. But I was like, no, this will give us something to talk about. That basically same wavelength. I think, nah, this should
Yeah.
give us something to talk about Saturday. I was tempted to text you last night, but I did, or this morning, early today, actually, because I watched the last night's shows this morning. Yeah, I was tempted to text you about the Edge and Waller match, but I was like, you know what? We'll be talking in a couple hours. I'll just wait till then.
And I liked how the announcers were also giving Grayson Waller fair dibs. Like when he did that roll over the back DDT type of thing, and they're like, "That's a
Yeah, yeah.
groove whip."
Basically, hit him with Christian's finisher, but rolling over the back of Edge to do it. That
So
was crazy.
I think I don't know. It seems like they've got some decent plans for Grayson Waller, which is
Yeah.
will be good.
I thought he was just like going to do the roll over the guy's back and then maybe kick him or something, like a super kick or something. I wasn't expecting to grab his arms and do the unprettier kind of move, or kill switch as Christian calls it now.
All right, is the Miz transitioning back to being a serious wrestler?
Yeah, possibly.
He seemed pretty intent on not playing around with this Sabo guy.
Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, that guy.
Well, if you watch Ciampa back in when he was in NXT, when he was the NXT champion, that's not a guy that Miz wants to play. Goofy guy with, character wise. They made Ciampa back then was a badass. So if they're gonna bring out that Tommaso Ciampa character against the Miz, they're gonna have to make the Miz be the serious guy and not the goofy guy with the tiny balls deal. Another thing with the going back to the Edge thing, during the promo, we'll see if you sink or swim, and then after the match, Edge grabs the mic, looks at him, and says, "You swam," drops the mic, and walked off. That's going to help Grayson Waller too.
Yeah, I was wondering what they were gonna do when Edge beat him, and then when Edge grabbed the mic, I was like, all right, here we go, we're gonna find out. And I expected him to say something like, "All right, get up, Grayson, you did a great job," or something like that. But I think they did a good job with uh, so you swam, and then they hit him with the microphone because that still leaves room for for Grayson to be like, all right, well, I gave you a round for your money. Let's get it again.
Mm-hmm.
And it also gives them room for them to be like, all right, now we have respect for each other, so we can actually be cool.
Yeah, having watched Money in the Bank, because you guys couldn't watch because you had to work that night, or you were working, because that wasn't even at night, that was during the day. The bit with Waller and Cena was kind of the same thing, only it wasn't an actual match. But Waller got his hits in on Cena, and then Cena at the end got lucky and hit him with an AA and then left the ring. It was kind of the same setup that they did with Edge, only with Edge it was an actual match, which is why I think they could take it either way, where they could have it where Waller does something with Cena as a program, or they continue on this with Edge from SmackDown. I'm wondering now that I'm thinking about it and talking about it right now, if they didn't have him do the thing with Edge because Cena can't do the other. So they switched from it being Cena to Edge. You follow?
I think it'd be better that way. I think Edge complements Grayson better, and I don't like John Cena anyway.
Yeah, I don't like Cena either. I mean, I've said it before. I respect the work Cena has done with Make a Wish and stuff, but there's just something about Cena. I don't like Cena, especially with him kowtowing to the Chinese and everything over the Taiwan deal and everything. There's just something about Cena that always just, I don't know. There's just something about him. I just never liked the guy. That's not to say that you meet the guy and you actually get to know him and you don't like him that way. But from what I've seen of him and what I know of him, I don't like him. Does that make more sense?
No, screw that dude. 100%. I don't care. I don't need to know him. I don't want to know him. I don't need to be convinced. If
Yeah,
I'm
I
wrong,
get what you're
I'm
saying.
comfortable being wrong. Screw him. I just lose Rich now, too. All right, so apparently this is the Kingpin show now. So we're going to talk about Blackout Coffee Company. You should buy Blackout Coffee Company because they're good coffee and they're American made and stuff like that. All that kind of good stuff. My logo's pretty cool. And just for anybody watching, the glasses on my face are actually supposed to be colored in black. That's just an oversight. I didn't notice it until after I had already put all this together and been using it for a while. And I was like, wait a second, my sunglasses aren't black. So eventually I'll fix the image to where my sunglasses are blacked in. Because I don't wear glasses in real life, so those look like, I don't know, it's weird. I would imagine that Rich probably had some type of electrical issue. So I'm going to sit here with my microphone open and organize my paperwork that I was doing so you get to listen to all the background noise live on the internet. Rich White's probably sending me a text right now. Yep, Rich White. Yep. Yeah, his power went out and he's waiting to be reboot right now because I cannot end the stream. So again, you just get to listen to me rifle through my stuff as I ramble on. Oh, another thing about Blackout Coffee Company, it makes a great gift. Like a lot of people that have already said that they're not big on drinking coffee, so or tea. But you could also use any of their other stuff, like the mugs and stuff. We don't really recommend buying. Just I recommend buying the coffee because that's what my friends make the money off of. Buy that stuff. But you can also, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, buying it for gifts. So if you're not a coffee drinker, then I'm sure you know a coffee drinker. And birthdays are coming up, and Memorial Day, and Labor Day, and Flag Day, uh, Gay Pride, and Second Amendment Appreciation Month. This is right now would be a great time to buy people gifts. And there's Christmas and Halloween, Thanksgiving, Arbor Day, and Earth Day. I mean, if you're not buying people gifts on Earth Day, then I don't know. Maybe you're not an American. I don't know. Apparently, Rich's electricity hasn't cleared up yet, which is a really bad time because I just started rifling through my stuff. Having him here to talk to so I can mute up would be fantastic. All the extra noise wouldn't be happening. But oh well, this is internet. This is live, and we'll do it live. Screw it, we'll do it live, just like Bill O'Reilly said. There are thunderstorms and stuff planning on coming through, so that's probably what got Rich. Was one of the thunderstorms coming through West Virginia, headed toward Maryland. I don't know. Oh, let's see. Let's go over and see what else. All right, so that Hillbilly Up is live, so check out the Hillbilly Up show. Apparently, in Oregon, James O'Keefe Media Group, formerly James O'Keefe from Project Veritas, has got a Oregon law overturned, which was a two-party consent law, meaning that you can't secretly record somebody. So therefore, an undercover journalist would have to tell somebody hey, I'm recording you while they're talking to you. And I believe it was the Ninth Circuit of Appeals overturned the ruling and said that no, you can undercover journalism record people, so it becomes a one-party consent state. Let's see. Chris from the 740 left a comment on my Galil video. Always liked the Galil. Great video, Kingpin. Thank you very much, Chris. But Uncle Jim was live. He did a live show every Saturday night. Let's see. Make sure this is muted. MCK put out a video on can't fence time. I don't know what that means. Some bug spray or something. Oh, okay. I see what he's doing. He's spraying some stuff on his hunting gear so it doesn't smell like people, I guess. Yep, that's what's going on. Rich White just texted me again, said that he's having a little bit of trouble getting his internet fired back up. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Rich White's son not back. So we'll go over, check my email. Blackout Coffee Company.
Okay.
There we go.
Power went out and came. Did that go out and come right back up? That I having a hell of a time getting my microphone and camera to work when after it came back, everything rebooted. So where the hell were we?
Blackout Coffee Company.
That's where you were.
Oh.
I caught you talking about something when I tried joining again, but got kicked right back out again. Talking something. Were we still talking about Edge and Waller? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you were in the middle of saying something, and all of a sudden, boom! Everything went. It's like shit.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Remember we were talking about Joys of Live television with the botch with the exploding death match? Well, yeah, that was an example of that, folks.
Yeah, I don't remember. 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 Yeah, I don't remember
Yeah, that could be why. We have a thunderstorm in the area.
Yeah.
It's rain. It's according to this, it is raining out. So I couldn't tell you if it is or not. It's too dark out. But according to my phone, it's raining. Nothing for like a power outage to completely derail your train of thought, too, right?
Yeah.
I think we were talking about this. If they're setting up a Waller and Edge for SummerSlam, I think is where we were talking about. No, it's just something about I'm wondering if they substituted Edge in for Cena and then got talking about like neither one of us likes Cena. And I think
Yeah.
that's about when the power went out.
That's probably the Chinese communist cutting your feed.
Uh huh. Chinese communists cut my power anyway.
No, I mean, they own a lot of the electrical grid in the United States, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Grayson Waller thing could go a couple different ways with Edge. Either they could beef, and that could just be like, the trial by fire for Grayson Waller, or they could turn it to where Grayson and Edge become like protege and teacher, or you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. You know, you mentioned that it's a shame that they have Theory. No, they're on the same show, aren't they? Theory and Waller are on the same show.
Yeah,
They could put the two of them together as a stable. Nope. The two of them, Theory, Waller, and Pretty Deadly as a stable under Edge's tutelage.
see, I don't think Austin Theory's looking for. His attitude's not going to be welcoming to somebody. Yeah, he's better than Edge. He should be a Hall of Famer. He's
Uh-huh.
the champion, not Edge. You know what I mean? That's the kind of like. So I think what could be interesting. Here's a scenario: Edge gets mixed up with fighting with Austin Theory, and Austin Theory hits him with a chair and beats him, and then Pretty Deadly comes in and beats him, and then something else happens, and Grayson Waller comes in and saves the day, and that leads Grayson Waller into beefing with Austin Theory.
Oh, how about this one for a scenario? You have the feud going on right now with Theory and Pretty Deadly versus the Brawling Brutes, right?
Right?
What if they somehow work Edge and Waller into that?
On the side of Austin Theory or the side of Sheamus?
Well, Edge on the side of Sheamus and Waller on the side of Theory.
Yeah.
Because Edge and Sheamus have a history. They've known each other for years.
I wonder what happened to Omos.
No idea.
It just completely disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they only got so much time during a week. It's one of the things about there not being all the little territories like back in the day. You got so many wrestlers, you only got two, maybe three real brands to sign them all to.
Yeah.
So you got, particularly where AEW and WWE, you got guys signed to the roster and nothing to do with them. Which again is why I think they shoehorned Jay White into being a tag team wrestler right now, which isn't his forte. He is a single star. The guy is a former multiple time New Japan World Heavyweight Champion. You know, he's one of only two guys to hold every heavyweight singles title that New Japan has.
Why is Claudio Castillo having a match with Commander?
I don't know. Probably for the same reason. They're trying to figure somewhere to put him because of the reason why they shoehorned the Dark Order into the feud with the BCC because of Moxley being over in Japan and Danielson breaking his arm. And that's on ROH anyway, so. That's back. That's the equivalent of back in the day when Ric Flair would take on Randy Mulkey on the Saturday Night Show. Remember when they used to do that? Ric Flair be in action tonight, and he gets in there, and it's like George South he's taking on, or Randy Mulkey, or some other jobber.
Yeah, they do it with a lot of the like Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow type of guys now,
Mm-hmm.
where they come out and have a 2 second long match.
Yeah, they get some guy off one of the local indie things.
Well, they did it with
Get the hell out
MJF
of
the other night too. MJF beat that scrub from Manitoba
Mm-hmm.
at the very beginning of the show, and then ended up having to wrestle that other guy.
Yeah, well, you know that most of the time when they have the security guys come out or the EMTs come out to help somebody, those are the local jobber guys from wherever they're, whatever city they're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go back. I don't know if we've talked about this before or not. When Sami Zayn was the heel and Bobby Lashley was the face in their feud, and Sami Zayn brought out Bobby Lashley's beautiful sisters. It was a bunch of guys in drag. One of them was Max Caster from the Acclaimed, and not the gay one, the rapping one.
Yeah, the figuratively gay one.
Oh man, did you see QTV yesterday?
I was fast forwarding through that, but I did.
Oh,
I
it was
saw
funny
that.
as hell. The blonde still thinks that the
Yeah.
other dude has a thing for her. Yeah, she still thinks that Bullets has a thing for her. I'm about lost it.
Yeah.
She's like, I still think we can have such a nice family.
Oh,
That was funny. Then the other guy, I had the QT Marshall and Johnny TV, Johnny Mundo, Johnny Nitro, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Aaron Solo's like, I got the perfect name for your tag team. And they look at him as like, what? Well, you got QT Marshall and you got Johnny TV. We'll call him QTV. Everybody just sat there, gave him a look like, yeah, that's what we're doing.
right.
That segment was actually pretty good this week.
All right, let's go to bed. Oh, that's weird. That sounded fucked up.
Yeah, that sounded really weird.
Edit that part out too. I'm looking forward to a nice morning of a freshly brewed pot of Blackout Coffee Company. So in order for me to get that, I have to go to sleep.
Well, you got to order it first too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna order any. Sorry, but I'm not gonna order
Well, then how you going to get it?
any. I'll be all right. I'll go to Dunkin' for my coffee.
Yeah. I get that sponsorship or affiliate thing from them. And don't you know, we just bought like 100 K-Cup box of, I think it was Tim Hortons from Sam's Club.
But hey, man, it is what it is.
Mhm. Anyway, yeah, we probably start wrapping it up. We've been going for almost 3 hours, which is longer than what we're supposed to.
Yeah.
So, ooh, sounds like thunder. So yeah, it might be a good idea. So, anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
No. Blackout Coffee Company.
What's your video tomorrow on?
What letter of the alphabet is after G? H?
H.
You have to tune in and see.
My guess is HK, but I could be wrong.
No,
I
I went with I went with something a little bit more obscure. There's a guy named Hugo Schmeschenmeiser.
Schmeiser, Hugo Schmeiser.
Yeah, he did the M18 or something like that, some Nazi gun.
The MP
Yeah.
18. That would have been before the Nazis, actually.
So I got a video that plays a little bit of the animation for that, and
Yeah,
then just links to the video.
His company did the MP38 and the MP40, if I remember correctly. He didn't have anything to work on it, but his company did.
Well, I've also L is coming up, and I did the Lamat revolver,
Mm-hmm.
and I was thinking about either doing a second video or doing a new video and then just linking to the Lamat one, to Lakeview Outdoors. Everybody's doing the My First Gun. Well, not everybody. A couple people have done the My First Gun.
Well, a few people have, yeah.
And I was thinking about linking to all of those because they're all interesting stories, hearing about people's first guns, and they're all people that we communicate with on a regular basis.
Yeah, I haven't done one because I don't have my first gun anymore, and I don't even remember what it was other than a break action 410. So it's like, I can't really do that video because I don't remember much about it.
So it's either I'm going to do one video and then link to the Lamat one, or just do 2 videos for help.
Yeah, works either way.
I'll figure it out. I got a couple letters to go, so.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Thanks for jumping on and holding down the fort while we were having our little electrical issues.
Yeah.
See, this is why it helps to have somebody who knows what they're doing co-hosting.
Blackout Coffee Company.
Yes. Be sure to check out the link down below for the Blackout Coffee. Use the link Rich W20 to get 20% off your first order. And we will catch y'all tomorrow night, hopefully. What happens with power over on the Unloaded Media channel for This Week Unloaded. Until then, have a good night, folks.
You guys are probably really scared right now, and I understand that completely. But I get the better of the deal, and even though it's 3 versus 2, you guys are outnumbered because we're better than you guys. Yeah, we are. We're legends in our own mind compared to you guys. Even though you guys got the egos, we have got the wrestling skill. And this guy right here